Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Kate and Gordon Show here. And today's episode is a very another special one. Joining me is Overtime Sims, who is a singer and went to grad school for mental health counseling. And we're going to talk a little bit about one of his famous singles called Hide Today. And yeah, so how are you doing?
I'm well, and yourself? How's it going today?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you so very much. So, my first question for you is how did you get into singing?
Uh, Everyone in my family was making music at the time, and it was kind of like the Jackson Five. So like everybody was doing it. Um, Everyone was more talented than me at the time, so I thought. So I was a little afraid to get out there, but it was just in my blood. It bit me, and I couldn't help but just want to keep pushing out there. And opportunities started opening up where people would call me and say, "Hey, can you come perform here? Can you perform there?" And although I was nervous, I still pursued the dreams that I said I wanted to do.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that you were able to pursue those dreams and get where you are today. Especially with those followers you have, you wouldn't have got to those many followers on Instagram if you didn't like follow your gut like myself.
Absolutely, and it's been a long journey
Oh
because
yeah.
I started off with no followers like everyone else when they create their page, and
Right.
it's like, how do you find different ways to engage people rather than what everyone else is doing? How do I break the mold? How do I challenge myself to say, I know that this is working for them, but what if I try this a different way? And as you see in the numbers, it's been showing, it's been helping,
Right.
just breaking
Mhm.
the mold.
Yeah. And the way you're changing your like video edits and like stuff around there for your music is different than what everyone else is doing, like regular edits and stuff like that. So I feel like that kind of sticks out to people, and that's how many people that come to you and do what you gotta do from that.
I
That
appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I do all my own edits. I'm like Bruce Lee, do my own stunts. I've been filming. I didn't go to film school, as you said. I go for counseling, but I didn't have anyone to do it for me, so I created the opportunity for myself.
which the mental health counseling is what we're gonna kind of touch up on next. So, what made you want to become a mental health counselor?
Uh, I had a good counselor. I had several good counselors. Um, as we all go through things in life, and if you haven't yet, we all will. It's just life.
Yes.
It's part of the journey. Um, you're gonna need people to talk to, and I took the chance to talk to a counselor while I was in school, and it helped me get out of a lot of toxic situations that I didn't know were toxic. It helped me really learn and see myself for who I really am, and I got to love myself more than I ever had before. And for me to know that there may be someone out there who hasn't seen that yet, it's scary because it's like, oh snap, I had to go through all of this just to realize it. What about those people who don't even know that it's happening? Because I didn't know it was happening. I was just living.
Right.
So I realized that there was a need. I realized that there was a need of African American counselors and male counselors at that.
Mhm.
Um, and I wanted to step into my responsibility, and I wanted to help others.
I see. So yeah, I have a counselor myself. Counselors, I feel like, are just someone that you can kind of relay yourself on. And since things happen in high school and middle school, well, more middle school than anything on high school. But just having someone to talk to helps kind of relax you, and just kind of come to reality of things happen, and you just need to find a way to get out of it, in a good way.
Absolutely. I look at it like this. Um, it's a place where I can be me 100%. Because as a counselor, we take an oath saying that whatever you say is totally confidential. It's not going to go anywhere, and that oath is real. Like that's like the real. You can't tell your best friend, "Hey man, don't tell them nobody," and blah blah blah. But you tell your counselor, you can really take that time to explore who you are. And from me going to therapy, it helped me write that song Hide, because it's actually a tribute to my father who passed in 2017. And the song was expressing what I would do. I would really hide away to try to push my pain down. But if
Right. Mm-hmm.
it's just come out and talk to my counselor, which opened those different doors to help me progress and help me to heal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like it kind of helps you realize that you don't really need to hide away in situations.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Which kind of went back to our next question here, which what was the meaning behind your song Hide, and pretty much you just explained that. So who are some of your favorite artists growing up?
I grew up listening to 50 Cent. Kanye West was a big influence. And honestly, for this to be a country talk show, I grew up in Colonial Heights, Virginia, and we had a lot of country music. I had a lot of country inspirations.
Mm-hmm.
There was this one song, Where I Come From, there's,
Oh yes, Alan Jackson.
yeah, and
Yeah,
like
I know exactly where
stuff
that.
like that. It helped me talk about my life. That's all country music is. It's
Okay.
talking
Mm-hmm.
about what you're feeling, what's
Right.
going on inside, and putting that emotion. So, I had a lot of different. I get a lot of inspiration from poetry,
Right.
Edgar Allan Poe. A lot of my imagery comes from Vincent Van Gogh, one of my favorite painters. But I take all of that stuff and I use my strength of ideation, and I use that to make the music. And what
Mm-hmm.
ideation is, it's having the ability to connect one piece to the next. It's saying, okay, Van Gogh, he was so abstract with his art. How can I do that with my lyrics? How can I do that with my music? How can I give some Shakespeare at the same time while rapping? And that's where I created my Greek mythology album. But we'll talk about that another time. I don't want to, negate from the question.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, what do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
Still doing what I'm doing on a larger level. Ultimate goal, I want to have a 24-hour broadcast studio where
Mm-hmm.
I provide the same content, the cartoons, the comedy sketches, the mental health videos. I want to provide all of this information, kind of like an Adult Swim, or maybe Adult
Right.
Swim pick me up. And we can use this platform to still bring raunchy, corny, witty humor, but
Right.
still helping people at the same time.
Exactly.
When I started my show, it was because I was depressed and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to leave the house. So like everybody on TV was leaving the house. I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
make content for those who maybe we can't leave the house right now. So
Right.
it's okay to not feel bad. So let's make stuff in the house. And that's where I decided to build my studio. And
Right.
yeah.
So the next question I got for you, if you could pick one singer to collaborate with, who would that be?
Right now, CC Pennington. Yeah, man, she's an amazing singer. She has a bunch of hit songs. One of her songs, "Finally," is like everything, and she makes like a
Mm-hmm.
blend between like house, R&B, and pop, and like that's like my genre a little bit. I'm like a big
Yeah.
flash of like folk EDM. If you was to, like whoa,
Right. Mm-hmm.
so it's so I would love to work with her.
Yeah. So, how did you get into the TV production side of this?
So I wanted to produce my own music videos because I couldn't afford to hire someone else to do it for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized I was pretty good at it. And I did it for a couple of years, opened up different studios and things like that while in undergrad and while in grad school. And I realized, hey man, I really do have a gift for these videos. And
Yeah.
I have when you create the content, you really have more control over what you're putting out than anything. When a network owns you, it's kind of difficult. But it's like when I can create whatever I want. If I'm feeling sad, I can create something sad. If I'm feeling happy, I can create something happy. If I feel like I want to tell the world about my baby being born, I could create a cartoon about my baby being born. And it's like I
Right.
have full control. So when I learned, oh snap, I can control what they see. And if they don't like
Right.
it, they can watch something else.
And exactly, because it's also when you hire someone, it's kind of like they're doing the work, but you're doing the work, you put it in yourself, so you know exactly what you want, instead of like people messing anything up with your music videos and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. And I mess things up a lot on my music videos.
Yes, everyone makes mistakes.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
it's like, I'd rather make the mistake than have to call you a billion times to fix it.
Right.
Wait a million years for you to send it back to me, because
Right.
I get anxiety when it comes to my creativity. I have to put it out, even if it's not done. I'll put it out again. I'll redo it. But when I want to put it out, I gotta put it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So just making sure you put it out and stuff, and making sure it's the way you want it makes the most sense to do it that way, because then you feel comfortable, you don't feel anxious about it, you're good, you're flowing, go from there.
And I can move on.
Right. Mm-hmm. And and also when you make mistakes, it's sometimes easier to get back into like a better train of things, because you made the mistake, what to fix next time.
Exactly. That's exactly right, man. You're great. You're amazing. This was awesome. I love this.
Yeah.
I like this. This is great.
I know. It's very fun. I think you're like the 13th or 14th person I've done, so
it's an honor, man. I want to say thank you. Like when I found out about your show, I was so impressed, because I think we started around. It's okay. I think we started around the same time. My talk show had came out, and I crossed over your page, and I said, "Yo, this kid is incredible," and you were such an inspiration to me. And I said, "Okay, I wanna work with this guy," and I'm happy.
Originally, I found Overtime Radio, I believe. That's the first page I found, and then he's like, you should interview this guy, and I said, yeah, that'd be pretty interesting. And I pretty much found him from like looking up different radio stations and stuff that might want to like take my show. And when I looked him up, I'm like, oh, is he actually like a radio station? But he like does his own show, so I kind of misunderstood that kind of purpose of it. But I'm glad that we're here and talking right now.
Absolutely, no, it's an honor, man. I really admire your work ethic. You have such drive, and I'm so proud of you. You've come a long way. I've watched your show grow, and keep up the good work, man. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. I'm proud of you as well.
I appreciate that.
I appreciate that as well. So the last thing I kind of wanted to touch up on, and where can people find you, like on social media and your website and stuff like that?
Absolutely. OvertimeSims.live. Just like that, time with a Y, OverTyme, Sims.live. Instagram, Overtime Sims with a Y. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Overtime Sims. I have a bunch of GIFs out there that you can look up. Wherever you type in Overtime Sims, you're going to find me. Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Tidal, any streaming network, anywhere that there's an internet. I consider myself to be the digital godfather, the pioneer of the digital entertainment world. So wherever you're looking for something and you want to find me, type me in. Check me out on TikTok. I'm flourishing on TikTok. Just type in, like, go to Sounds on TikTok. Go to any of these websites, and I promise you'll see me, because I'm making myself sing. And don't forget the voice.
Yeah, I actually looked you up on Google, and you're like the first, like in the little bio information. So that's kind of where I found out like the mental health counseling sort of part of this, and kind of hearing about that whole thing with what you do, and kind of did a little more research before I talked with you.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Alrighty, well, I think that was all the questions I got for you.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate you. I know that you guys are going to air this later on. So, do a favor for my viewers, go tell them where they can find you, and tell them about.
So, this will be live on a bunch of different radio stations, but to make things easier, you guys can go check it out on my website at thekadengordonshow.wix, WIX site.com/KadenGordonShow.